We're going to be going over how to travel and not be broke because I see so many people that are trying to travel the world, but they just have no money. Or maybe they're going on their 1 or 2 holidays a year and they're always worried about like budgeting, what food they're going to eat, where they're going to sleep in just a very low frequency type of vacation. So, what we're going to be going over first is why you should travel in the first place. Well, with traveling, it provides new experiences, new ideas, new opportunities, and obviously that means growth. And if you never travel, if you always just stay in your hometown in the same circle, you're going to get the same opportunities. You're going to live the exact same life that 99.9% of people live. Always stuck in their hometown, never getting a taste of what true freedom tastes like. Kind of like a fish in a fishbowl. If you never leave your circle, everything will stay the same. It's just like a simple math equation. If 1 plus 1 equals 2, it'll always equal 2 forever. So in order to get a different answer to your life, a different outcome, you have to change the mathematical equation. You have to leave. You have to travel. So that way you can get a new calculation. You can maybe get 5 plus 6 equals 11, something like that. Of course, some people get 1 to 2 holidays a year, but still, that's it. And they usually don't go far. They might go to Florida, maybe Hawaii, maybe Canada. I don't know who goes to Canada, maybe Mexico. But the thing is that they always have to return back home to their 9 to 5 slash their careers for an income, and they have to budget for their vacation. They can't live how they want. They have to go rent a little box out there in Mexico and maybe get the Latinas with a discount. But yeah, we're going to be going over next, pretty much like comparing the broke backpacker versus the computer conquistador. With the broke backpacker, they have a very tight budget, maybe like 1K on a vacation. They're going to be getting the cheap hotels, maybe they're staying in hostels with other people. They're going to be eating the cheapest foods that they can find on the street. The type of food you eat where then afterwards you have to shit for like a few weeks, throw up maybe. That type of food, nothing high quality at all. Then from there, they're not able to actually really experience anything. They're just like getting a very small box in a different country, not being able to experience that country in its entirety because of how tight of a budget that they're on. And with these types of people that are traveling, you're mainly spending most of your time worrying about how you're going to pay for things than actually being able to enjoy that very fruitful experience that is there, but you just can't really afford it. And then, of course, they know who the fuck? All right, sorry for the interruption. But yeah, they know they have to return home to their shitty 9 to 5s, their careers that they hate, which is why they're going on a vacation anyways, to escape their lives, to taste something that they really want, but then they always have to go back to where they originally came from. And then with broke backpackers, if they're traveling with their families, maybe their friends, they're always arguing in very low frequency of like, no, this is too expensive, we can't eat there, we can't sleep there, we have to stick on the budget, and it's just a very low frequency type of vibe. And then last but not least, they're always uncomfortable and lost wherever they go because they're so worried about the money, the budgeting, that they just kind of get lost because like traveling in itself is already pretty hard. Going to a new country you've never been to in your entire life, it's just like you've never been there, so you don't know what to do. And adding on to that is figuring out how you're going to pay for transportation, where you're going to stay. It's just a whole lot of headache and not a lot of vacationing or traveling in the first place. But on the other hand, with computer conquistadors, you get sick Airbnbs. You can stay long term in a condo. Like we have a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom place out in Bangkok. We're paying like 1K a month each, pretty much, and it's very good. It's on the 38th floor. Very amazing views right in this heart of Bangkok. And right now, kind of I'm not kicked out of Thailand, but I had to escape Thailand. I'm in Malaysia right now. I go to Vietnam tomorrow. But the thing is like I don't really have to worry about like, oh snap, how am I going to pay for all these flights? How am I going to pay for all these Airbnbs? It's just like I'm just making money while I'm traveling, so it's just very chill. It's very sabai, which means relax and Thai. And with being a computer conquistador, you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Eating juicy ribeyes and oysters. You can do anything you want, anytime, any place. You can fully divulge yourself of the locals and the land, so you can travel anywhere you want. Like if you're in Bangkok, you're tired of the city, bam, go to Koh Samui, done. You can go to the mountains, go to Chiang Mai. You just have full freedom to do exactly what you want to do when you want to do it, and that's the total freedom that you get as a computer conquistador. Then yeah, of course you can live wherever you want. You're stress free. You're scaling to the moon. You're locked in. And that's what it takes to be a computer conquistador. You're not worried about the budgeting, the bills. You're just like, okay, if I pay this, I'll just make that back tenfold. And you just have a deep-rooted purpose and have clarity on what you're doing while you're traveling. Because like when you're traveling on a budget, you're just worried about how am I going to pay for things. You never really have any clarity because instead of the noise you have in the 9 to 5 where you get done with work, you go home, you watch Netflix, you eat, you chill, you drink beer, you watch sports, you never get any clarity there. And when you go on these 1 to 2 holidays a year, you're supposed to get some sort of clarity of like, oh shit, this life is actually pretty cool. Being able to live out here in Colombia, Bangkok, Italy, wherever you go, you actually should be able to get a taste of what that freedom is like and how great that lifestyle is. But because you're on a budget and because you're always worried about the bills and how you're going to pay for things, you never really get that sense of clarity of like, okay, what do I actually want to do with my life, with my time on earth? Like, what am I actually going to do? You never get that clarity. But when you're paying for things and when you're making USD and spending in baht, Malaysian ringgits, whatever it's called here, it's very cheap. You can chill. You're chilling. I mean, you have all the time in the world. You can think of what you actually want to do with your life. And with that clarity, you're able to find out what you really want, which gives you that deep-rooted purpose, drive, energy, motivation to get the needle moving forward to where you want to go in life. But now we're going to be going over exactly how to not be broke and travel like a computer conquistador. And there's really only 3 ways you can travel and not be worried about the budgeting, the prices, or anything like that. Number 1 is you can win the lottery, or you can be a trust fund kid. You could be the great grandson of the CEO of Bank of America. I've actually been to his house and I've seen what he looks like. He has all the money in the world now, makes like 20 million a year. He went from like 9 to 5 to 20 million a year. And let's just say he's not very happy because he didn't really earn it. It was just kind of given to him. So he's just the same person, but just with money. Like, money doesn't really change you that much. Of course, it amplifies who you are, but if you're a piece of shit who gets money, you just become a bigger bag of shit. So yeah, of course you can be a trust fund kid. Number 2, you could retire at 6, 7. Jump off the balcony for that one. And live in Pattaya with the ladyboys. That's something obviously you can do as well. Or number 3, you can just make money online. It's very simple. But out of all these 3 things, there's only one that really made sense to me. I didn't want to wait 40 more years. I didn't want to base all of my money on winning the lottery or respawning back on Earth and being a trust fund kid. I just knew that making money online was the only option, the only one that made sense to me. So that's what I did. And I wanted to travel while I'm young and make a killing as well. I didn't want to just travel, be one of those backpackers that carry those big ass backpacks around and look for the cheapest place. I wanted to live completely on my terms, not worrying about anything. And that's exactly what I did. So, I mean, with the options of making money online, of course, there's an abundance of different ways to make money online, especially in 2025 and going into 2026, like e-commerce, day trading, AI automation, SMMA. There's so many different ones. But all of these require an abundance of skills, startup capital, and tons of time to even see any ROI with any of these different businesses. But the easiest one that I found, which is what I do, is called high ticket sales. I'm a remote closer right now where I've only taken 1 call today. Again, I don't know if you guys watched my video yesterday, but the no-show rate has been absolutely detrimental. But we closed the one and only call that we had today. We're about to do some follow-up as well. But yeah, with high ticket sales, I legit just hop on Zoom calls and turn words into cash, helping people change their lives. I'm actually on 2 different offers right now, one being a crypto offer and the other one being a Forex offer. So just helping people in online businesses, close deals is just, it's just a no-brainer because like with high ticket sales, you can be an appointment setter, you can be a closer with appointment setting, you're either DM setting, phone setting, and that's pretty much it. So, I mean, with that, you can make like 5 to 9% off of every set deal that you close. Sometimes they give you like a base pay of every qualified set appointment that you make, you get $20 to $40. And then whenever that deal closed, you get like 5 to 9%. So let's just say you set an appointment for a 5K deal that gets closed. That's like $300, $400, something like that. Not too sure of the math. I dropped out of university for a reason. My math skills aren't where they need to be. But yeah, it's not easy, of course. With everything in life, there's going to be hard things, but it's easier than waking up at 4 a.m. to go to racetrack. I'll tell you that. Waking up at 4 a.m., taking a cold shower, going to work for a fat Indian guy at racetrack, and taking out the outdoor trash, dealing with ghetto people all day paid with EDP stamps. It's just really not ideal. People walking in on drugs, on fentanyl, just like zombies, and then pulling their pants down, all this type of stuff. It's the lowest frequency thing you can do. And it's just a lot easier. Of course, it's not going to be easy, because if making money online was easy, everyone would be traveling the world. Everyone would be living on their terms. But because it's hard, it makes it worth it, and you actually get the result that you want. because there's really two hearts. You know, you could just wake up at 4 a.m., go work at Racetrack at 5 a.m. until 1 p.m. and then go work at Red Lobster from 4 p.m. until 10 p.m. That's pretty hard. That's a lot of time. That's a majority of your day down the drain. And with that, you can do that for 200 years and never be able to travel, never be able to retire. There's no end result there. It's just a constant cycle of surviving. But on the other hand, making money online, of course, it's going to be hard. You have to learn the skills, you have to find the offers, you have to do the right inputs in order for it to work. But after this hard thing, you actually get the result that you want, being able to make money online, living completely on your terms, which is what we're trying to do in the first place. Now, the beauty of high ticket sales, this is a very recent example. After I take a quick sip of a White Monster that's only available at Unreal Gym in Bangkok and everywhere in Malaysia. Yeah, 2 days ago, I had to dip Thailand out of nowhere because they changed the rules for the visa. I was supposed to still be in Bangkok right now for another 25 days. Because the thing with Thailand, if you guys don't know, you come here as an American, you get 60 days automatically, and then usually you can extend it at the immigration center for another 30 days. But you can only do that 2 times a year now, which I didn't know. So I went to the place, 7-day extension, so that way you can just sort your shit, get out of Thailand. I was like, oh shit, well, I've already done this like 3 or 4 times. I can't use the fast track anymore. And what the fast track is you can pay like 2 or 3K baht, and you can pass by the passport control and just get stamped in. But you can't really do that anymore. They patched the glitch, you could say. So now I have to get the DTV. I'll be out here around Southeast Asia. I'm going to Vietnam tomorrow. I kind of have it here on the slides. But yeah, I booked a one-way flight to Malaysia and got an Airbnb for 3 days. Had to pay like 3K USD to get a 5-year DTV visa. And I just booked flights for Vietnam tomorrow. Got to get an Airbnb for another 7 or 8 days. But the thing is, I mean, you guys can tell from my face, I don't know if you guys can see my body language, but like I'm not stressed at all because I know while I'm traveling, I'll just simply make more money. Just as simple as that. All while being able to enjoy 500-gram ribeyes, White Monsters, and 5 gum, which I lost out of the grab. Rest in peace, 5 gum. I only had 1 piece out of the 14 pieces. But yeah, if I were just on holiday and relying on savings or an income from the 9 to 5, I'd be absolutely cooked. I'd have to go back home, back to the States where it's very cold right now. I'd have to be very depressed on that 22-hour flight back home, and that's not what I wanted to do. So, of course, making money online, I don't have to do that. Very grateful for the ability to be born in the time that we're born in. But the thing with traveling is that it's not for everyone. Not everyone is built out for this type of lifestyle. It's only built out for the people with big balls. And because like with traveling, not everyone can be Hernan Cortez. And if you guys don't know Hernan Cortez, he was the one who came up with the saying of like burn the boats back in 1648, something like that, somewhere a long time ago, where they came to conquer the Aztec people, and they came across a river. They didn't burn the boats, literally, they sunk the boats. So that way they had no other option but to win the war to get back home after the victory. And with that being said, what I'm trying to get to is that there's got to be some average people. Like if everyone is traveling the world, then it wouldn't be that cool because it's just normal. And with traveling the world, it is a very tough life with surprise attacks from every single angle possible from the Matrix. Maybe your bank gets frozen. Maybe you get kicked out of a country. Maybe your passport gets denied. There's so many different things that can happen that you just don't really expect. And only the strong will survive the treacherous trials that the world throws at you. And with traveling, a stoic mindset is absolutely required to make it out here because like if you just let these small little attacks from the Matrix, from the world phase you and put you down and make you give up, then you're never going to make it. And that's why like whenever these things just happen to you, these things unfortunately will happen, but you just have to take it to the chin and keep moving forward. Because the thing is, I've gone completely broke 4 or 5 times, like $0, maybe even in debt sometimes. And I've been able to make it out. Because as long as you keep moving forward, you're always going to make it. It's just a matter of time. Like there's no way you don't make any money. There's no way an opportunity won't come as long as you're in the right position and doing what you need to do each and every single day. And what I've learned over the last 2 years and a few months is that there's always a way. And if there isn't, you can simply just make one. And it's a lot easier said than done, but the thing is like when your back is against the wall and there's no other option, you'll find an option. You'll make an option. Even if there's no options, you'll make a little option under that and make it happen. So now we're going to be going over how to take the leap to even start traveling in the first place. First up, you want to be able to save at least 10K USD, by the way, whether that be from a 9 to 5, selling shit on Facebook Marketplace, door dashing, whatever it takes to get $10,000 saved up, do whatever it takes. Maybe even getting a loan and never paying it back. That's one option. Then second up, book a one-way flight to Bangkok, Thailand, preferably, just because there's a very large network out there in Bangkok. Is one of the best places in the world to go, especially when you need to lock in at level 0. Because in Bangkok, there's so many people that are levels above you, level 5, 10, 15, 20, that are making 10, 50, 100K a month. And being able to surround yourself with these types of people that are levels above you, you're able to see what skills they have, what they're doing day in and day out, how they actually make money in the first place. Because back in the States, or back where you're from right now, it's very likely that you're surrounded by people that are in the exact situation that you're in, only relying on the 9 to 5 or a career to make money. So that's your reality as well, because it's a very cliche saying, but you literally are the average of the 5 people you hang around. So if you're only hanging around 5 losers, 5 people just settling and being complacent in the 9 to 5, it's very likely that you're in that exact same scenario for yourself. Compared to if you surround yourself with people that are levels above you, it's just inevitable that you'll be able to level up yourself as well. And then from there, after you land in Bangkok, you just need to simply commit yourself 5 to 6 months on locking in on making money online, just because it's just a matter of time. If it's your sole focus, no distractions, and this is your only goal, how would you not achieve it? You simply can't not win. Especially if you network, outreach, train every single day, explore and do your best to position yourself to win. It's literally just a matter of time before it actually happens. But of course, you need to know that there will be obstacles and failures that will try to set you back. But as long as you have that goal in mind of that you want to travel, you want to live on your own terms, maybe you want to provide for your family, and you have these deep-rooted goals, you can keep moving forward. Because as long as you have the clarity and the vision, any obstacle or failure will just be a lesson. It won't be an end-all be-all that you just have to go back home to the 9 to 5, you have to go back to your hometown. That won't be the situation. As long as you know that, as long as you keep moving forward and don't give up, it's just a matter of time before you win. And always remember, there's 2 hard choices to make every single day. The first one being, yeah, this is too hard. Making money online is a scam. I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I'm just going to go back home into a 9 to 5 and listen to someone else and be a kid and let someone else tell me where to be, when to be, what to work on, and just settle for that life. That's pretty hard, because you always have to go somewhere where you don't really want to go. You have to listen to someone you don't really listen to, you don't really respect, and you're only capped at a certain amount of income each and every single day. That's a very hard life, because you have no freedom whatsoever, financially, mentally, location-wise, or you can't really do anything. Okay, that's pretty much what I'm trying to get to. But the other hard choice is that you can stay out here every single day, knowing that no income is coming in, but you're outreaching, you're networking, and you're just doing every input that you think possible in order to make it online. That's going to be hard as well. But at least on the other side of that hard, you get the life that you dreamed of. And if you guys want to learn how to get into high ticket sales, which is what I do, that's the only way that I can help you make money online. I can't teach you how to day trade. I can't teach you crypto, e-commerce, anything like that. I can only teach you how to sell and how to find your first gold mine offer. I'm not going to go into this video because I'm about to go to the mall and then have another sales call. But if you guys click on the link below, there'll be a full guide on what skills you need, how to find your first gold mine offer, and how to make your first 5 to 10K a month. And then from there, it'll be all smooth sailing. But other than that, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. And I will see you guys in the next one. Boom.